Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary. Now this wildlife sanctuary has been news because this is being prepared as the second home of cheetahs in India. The cheetah that Indian government bought somewhere in last year from the Africa, especially from the countries of Namibia and South Africa. So till now, the cheetahs in India were living in Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary of Madhya Pradesh, and now some of the cheetahs will be sent and will be placed in the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary. So in this context, let us try to understand this entire issue. So first of all, again to give you the brief background of the current situation, Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary will be the second home for cheetahs in India after the Kuno National Park, as we have just discussed. The government of Madhya Pradesh has announced that it has completed the preparations that was necessary for this ambitious project. The final call on when cheetahs will be able to be imported from the Namibia and South Africa will be made after the monsoon, during which the cats may be vulnerable to infection, especially with their winter coats on. So basically, that is the reason why we have been avoiding importing more cheetahs from these countries, because the government have been waiting for the end of monsoon season, because that is the best season when cheetahs can acclimatize and adapt to the Indian conditions. Now, if you take a look at the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary, it is a large sanctuary spread over an area of 368 square kilometers. It is spread over two districts. One is Mandsaur and other is Neemuch. If you take a look at the map of Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary, it is situated somewhere at the border of Rajasthan in the west and Madhya Pradesh in the east. And one of the major river of Madhya Pradesh, that is river Chambal, originating from the Vindhya range, flowing to the north and then finally meeting the river Yamuna, flows through the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary. So basically, it sits, if you talk about the overall topography of this area, Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary sits over a flat rocky plateau, because this region is part of what we call as a Malwa Plateau of India, with the Chambal River cutting the sanctuary into almost two equal halves. The Gandhi Sagar Dam has been constructed over the Chambal River, and this dam that has been constructed on the river somewhere in the year 1960 lies within the area of the sanctuary. And also Gandhi Sagar Reservoir is a very large reservoir due to construction of this dam, is spread over an area of 726 square kilometer, which is also the third largest reservoir of the country. So that means what we can say is the availability of water is not going to be a problem, and since water is available in abundant quantity, obviously large amount of vegetation growth we can obviously expect, and thus this vegetation growth, availability of water will lead to large number of prey population, and that will help in survivability of the predators such as cheetahs and leopards in these part of the wildlife sanctuary. Now the question comes that why out of all the wildlife sanctuaries that we have in India, this particular sanctuary has been chosen for the cheetahs. Now, the Gandhi Sagar makes for perfect cheetah habitat. That is a statement given by the experts, and the landscape that the Gandhi Sagar sanctuary enjoys has much more promise, has much more to offer for the cheetahs to adjust. So basically, due to the rocky terrain and exposed sheet rocks, because Maula Plateau has evidence of volcanic eruption, so the rocks are of volcanic origin. So due to the rocky terrain and the exposed sheet rocks, the top soil of this sanctuary is very, very shallow. It is due to this region, the ecosystem of Gandhi Sagar resembles the ecosystem of African savanna. Basically, savanna comprises open grassland that is interspersed with dry deciduous trees and shrubs. So this kind of vegetation easily grow in the Gandhi Sagar reservoir. And the riverine valleys, as we had discussed, due to the flow of Chambal River, however, are evergreen, supports evergreen trees because of the abundant quantity of water availability. So it looks like something like Masai Mara, a very well-known national park somewhere at the border of Kenya and Tanzania, and known for the savanna wilderness and wildlife including lions, giraffes, zebras, hippos, elephants, and of course cheetahs. That means if cheetahs or when cheetahs are being reintroduced into India, it is better for them to be reintroduced into such areas which resembles their original or natural habitats of Africa. And so the success of cheetah reintroduction program can be assured if we choose such kind of topography, and that is the reason why we have chosen this particular wildlife sanctuary. Now, as far as the introduction of cheetah is concerned, the officers who are involved in this program, they have said that currently an area of 64 square kilometer has been developed for cheetahs at a cost of somewhere about 17.72 crore rupees. A soft release enclosure. In this, we have discussed that the Madhya Pradesh government has announced that it has completed the preparation. So, what kind of preparation they have completed? The first is a soft release enclosure, or what is referred BOMA, has been created for the cheetahs. These enclosures ensure a suitable and secure habitat for cheetahs upon their arrival. Second, construction of hospitals has been completed, because especially when you are introducing a species that has traveled such a long distance and has to acclimatize in a new environment, new climate, obviously you need to have a proper medical care. So to cater the needs of cheetahs, special hospitals have been created. And third, a comprehensive status assessment has been done by the wildlife experts about the number of herbivorous species, number of predators. Now, both of these are important, because it is the number of herbivorous species that determines that how much prey is available for cheetahs to feed upon. And the number of predators also is important, because it tells you that how much competition a cheetah will have to endure before it can catch its prey. So both of them gives us idea about the existing ecological dynamics or prey-predator dynamics in any secured area or any protected area. So these three are the major steps that have been taken before cheetahs can be reintroduced. Now, what can be the challenges that cheetah faces when they are reintroduced into the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary? So first and foremost challenge can be in the area of food, because for cheetahs to sustainably survive in this particular sanctuary, the first step is the prey-based augmentation. That means increasing the overall number and volume of the prey population. So increasing the number of animals that the wild cats can simply prey upon. However, on an average, a cheetah coalition. Now, cheetah coalition is basically what happens. The cheetahs are living in a group, especially the male cheetahs. They form a group of 3 to 4 cheetahs, and while female cheetahs basically, what you can say, hunt by her own. So, cheetah coalition that is made up of 3-4 male cheetahs is expected to make a kill every 3 to 4 days. And as per a report published by the Wildlife Institute of India, considering the finite growth rate of ungulates to be 1.33, a population of about 350 ungulates are required for a single cheetah coalition family. Now, what do we mean by the term ungulates? Now, ungulates are basically the major prey that are available in the overall, what you can say, ecosystem. These are basically consisting of big mammals with hoofs. For example, deer is the best example of an ungulates, and cheetahs feed on the ungulates. Now, what are the issues? The issues are, first of all, if we talk about the prey animals. So, prey animals such as cheetah, that is a spotted deer, or gorse, as we can say, that is the Indian bison, have been relocated from Kanha, Satpura and Sanjay tiger reserves to Gandhi Sagar. That has been the step taken to augment the prey base. Second, it is believed by many experts that still the prey base is insufficient and is still going to be an issue when cheetahs are reintroduced into this particular area. And this is a problem that Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary, the first sanctuary where cheetah were reintroduced in India, has also faced. So similar kind of problems we can see here as well. Officials are now pushing for around 5,000 antelopes to be reallocated to the Gandhi Sagar from the nearby wildlife sanctuary. This too will have its own hurdles, because it includes stress related mortalities, because if you are transporting such a large number of animals over such a large distance, obviously the actual number of animals who will be able to survive finally at the end of journey will be much more lower. So during the capturing process, relocation processes, obviously the numbers are going to decline further. So this is something also the government and the associate officials have to take into account. Now, the lack of prey is not the only problem for the cheetahs. The other problems the cheetah will have to face is from the competition, and the competition they will face from the already existing leopard population. So both feline predators, whether it is cheetahs or whether it is leopards, they are competing for the same prey. And if they are competing for the same prey over the same geographical areas, possibly they will clash with each other. And these clashes generally result into a deadly encounter where cheetah, being a weaker species, generally is prone to dying or death. Apart from that, there are some other co-predators as well. It is not only leopards, but the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary also hosts a large number of sloth bear, striped hyenas who hunt in a large group, grey wolves, then we have golden jackals, jungle cats, Indian foxes, as well as marsh crocodile. So as you can see, the number of predator population is quite higher, and in the absence of sufficient number of prey population, they are going to compete and fight with each other. Now, the low ungulate densities is perhaps due to the meat-eating communities residing in the area. Now, this is one of the theory that has been making the headlines, that the number of ungulate population has reduced because of the tribes that live here, and it can result into the possible poaching. Even in the government and government official try to increase the number of prey. So these are something that also has to be taken into account. So overall, after our discussion, what we can say in conclusion? So obviously, the first phase of augmentation should target the section west of the Chambal River. And why section west of the Chambal River? Because if you look at here, this is the course of river Chambal, as you can see from this diagram here, Chambal River, and this is how the Chambal River flows before entering into Uttar Pradesh. So basically, the western part of Chambal River is that where cheetah reintroduction can commence there as soon as sufficient prey is available, because the competition is relatively less on the other side. Chambal River basically acts as a barrier to the casual movement of wildlife between the two halves of the sanctuary, and thus if cheetahs are relocated on the western side, they will have lesser competition from their already present co-predators in this particular sanctuary. So that is all about the cheetah reintroduction program as far as the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary is concerned. Thank you very much.